Hey guys, when I first started to optimize e-commerce stores back in 2016 and really started to get deeply into conversion rate optimization, there was a lot of material that was only suitable for large e-commerce stores. Now, vast majority of e-commerce stores are not large, and vast majority of e-commerce stores are unhappy with their conversion rates. So in this series, I'm going to look into how we can apply these structures and strategies into smaller e-commerce stores. And today we are going to look into user testing and qualitative surveys. And this is all about identifying the biggest bang for the buck, going at it without many traffic, without a lot of funds to invest into this, and looking to get that 80% of the results with perhaps like 10 to 20% of the investments or time. So let's jump into this one, and I'm going to jump into my screen share and take it from there. So here we are, and let's first look into user testing, and then we're going to look into qualitative surveys to finish up the series. Now, first of all, I'll have an example here of how a user testing can look like. But in very simple terms, it is recruiting people to go through your site and complete different tasks. There are other versions of this, so you can basically group these into two buckets. You have the unmoderated one, and then you have the moderated one. In the unmoderated one, you have a predefined tasks for them. So find a black men's watch between 20 and 50 USD, for example. And on the moderated one, it's more of a conversation where you are asking them to complete different tasks as they go through the site, and you are watching them as they do it. Now, here, great thing with this one is that it takes care of that problem of I don't have traffic, because with this method, you can simply buy the traffic. So that's not a problem. And it's very suitable for small merchants as well, because you don't need a large sample size for this. So oftentimes they say like even 5 or 10 people can be a really impactful user test. And we found the same, like we've never run a user test for more than 10 people, because then you just have to have like a really, really extensive site, or you will have like a ton of the same findings over and over again. So it's a little bit of a waste of time. But I'm going to jump into an example of this. This is from ASOS, pretty large shopping store, and their user test on how a particular visitor saw it. So it's just going to play a 20-second clip or so.
It's not overly complicated. 2 sets of buttons basically. Probably presumably the same links as well. A search bar, and a few more things. And outside of that, it's really simplistic, but it gets the job done. I think it's always important to balance minimalism.
So from this example, you can see how the user sees the site. And the problem here oftentimes is that the merchants start to get really stuck on their way of viewing the site. And having people go through this and listening to them what they say can help in understanding these people, can help you develop empathy, and it's a very fast track way to get to that point. And here, if you want to run this really cheaply, you can even go to, say, Starbucks and find someone who looks like they could be your target audience, have them run through the site, and give them like a couple of extra coffees or things like this. So it is a method that you can implement no matter your budget. So I really recommend it. There's also automated ways to do this with different tools. They will take care of the recruitment. They will record the video for you, audio with transcription, and then you can also share those things. So a very good way. There's other services. There's a lot of these different options. So just find the way that works for you. Some even include recordings from their face, and there you can build this question stack for that. So that's the user testing approach. Generally, you'll then be looking to build those insights into a little bit of a summary. You're looking for patterns, and you're looking for a little bit of outliers. Outliers could be an indication that there's something a little bit hidden here. So if sometimes like there's 1 or 2 people that are doing something, but then you can start to see like maybe this is a more common behavior pattern, and it's actually bigger of a problem than we thought. So can be very good in reaching this empathy gap where you can see things from the user's perspective. All right, so that's the user testing part. Then let's jump into surveys. And just like with user testing, we have 2 kinds of surveys. we have the qualitative ones and we have the quantitative surveys as well. So for example, in this case, we can build this little pop-up that will be at the bottom of the screen. And here, then we can ask them, for example, a yes or no question, which would be a good example of a quantitative survey. And with quantitative surveys, they tend to be a very long-term game because your traffic as a small merchant is quite low. So you are looking for something very specific here, ideally, because otherwise you just end up with some general findings, which are not going to be that helpful. So generally, like with small merchants, we are looking to fish those golden nuggets that can help take a leap in value, can really help the store go from where it is right now to another level. Sometimes these are information related, sometimes these are usability related, sometimes these are concerns that buyers reveal, etc. So that way we can then address it better on the copy. Now, with the quantitative ones as well as qualitative ones, we have two different types of surveys. We have the on-site surveys, like you see here, a little pop-up coming from the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, or we have the off-site surveys. So those could be like you emailing the customer list, for example, and asking for ideas. When it comes to surveys, there's a lot of different resources online. So for example, you can go to hotjar.com and seek the survey templates. For example, here we have product market fit surveys. We have surveys related to the site itself, different pain points, like these kinds of things. So whatever information you are looking for, you can find pretty much a template for that. So the answer, the problem is not really like which question to ask. It's really about what problem are we looking to solve. So there's different tools for this. Hotjar is like generally being the industry favorite, but for Shopify stores, I recommend Lucky Orange just because their heat mapping is better. So you can run that at the same time, and they also have surveys that you can use. So you can build this up, you can set up your triggers so it doesn't pop up all the time, and then you can customize the colors, etc. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Now, when it comes to surveys, I'd recommend that you focus on the qualitative part. So you're not just randomly looking to get different polls, etc., and then see like, okay, 60-40 here, like these kinds of things. But generally, you're looking for those open-ended, more in-depth answers. So, for example, like you can ask about the general impression of the page that you arrived on. That can be a good question to battle that bounce rate initially, if you see that you're having a lot of that. Then you can ask to recap thoughts on the site. So here, like you can get quite a bit of feedback about where your product might have problems, where the concerns are. And then, of course, like on the thank you page, for example, you can ask like what almost stopped you from buying from us, these kinds of things. So that's that. Hope you enjoyed the video. Go ahead and survey, use a test, and make the most out of your current traffic. If you are looking for help with conversion rate optimization, average order value optimization, you are ambitious, you have a little bit of success already with your store, hit us up at growgurus.com. You can find more about us and our methodology as well. If you really like this, please like it, thumbs up on YouTube, subscribe for more videos, etc. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.